And we're live. Hello, all, and welcome. And I am the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. La la la. So, how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So, as you can see, this is a little different from most starts. First of all, it's on the weekend. I don't usually do weekend shows because I don't have the time, but I had a little extra time. I felt like having a show, so what the hell, right? Number two, as you can see, the screen's a little different. As you can see, my little face is on the little corner there, and you got a big, big screen of text here. I'm going to start the show by talking about a story that I think is hilarious. So this is some funny shit. Yeah, you could call this the funny shit show if you need to give it a theme. So it's very funny. Yeah. Usually I just take still photos from from whatever story I'm talking about, and then I'll go through them as I do the story, because it kind of eats up a lot of bandwidth and a lot of my computer resources to have both my camera running and screen capture, because it sometimes causes lag. I wanted to see if maybe if I shrink my camera capture size there, if I shrink the display size there enough, that maybe I won't get too much lag. So this is kind of a test, as it were, to see if I can both stream and screen capture and use the camera at the same time without too much lag. By the way, that's why I usually just scroll through photos and then read the story without streaming the screen capture of the story itself. It takes up a lot more resources to do that. But anyway, there were too many pictures. There were like 25 fucking pictures. I didn't feel like fucking taking all them fucking pictures and, taking them and adding them to the streaming software. Anyway, that's enough preamble. Okay, so this story is some funny shit. Single mom was impressed by Tinder match's apartment, but then she read his bio. Oh boy, she was read by his bio. She was impressed by his bio. First of all, can somebody tell me what the hell a single mother's doing on Tinder? What are you doing, lady? Is it using things like Tinder what got you in trouble in the first place? You have a single mom. Isn't this kind of casual dating, laissez-faire, not taking anything too seriously, hooking up with guys on a fucking phone app what got you in trouble in the first place? Oh no, I love my baby. Yeah, you have to say that now. She exists. Or he, whatever. But your life would be a lot better if you hadn't had that kid. All right? Or if you'd have waited. Anyway, Natasha Reed couldn't help but swipe right. And by the way, it looks so big because I've enlarged the screen capture, right? I'm streaming at 1080 by 720p. It's high def, but it's minimum high def. So, the higher the def, the smaller the screen capture text has to be. So I had to raise the screen capture text to 200%. Now, if this was streaming at 1080p, I'd have no problem. I wouldn't have to enlarge anything. Anyway, so yeah, Natasha couldn't help but swipe right on Tinder match Lee, who posted funny photos of himself in his apartment. Yeah. Right. She likes that. A guy who's going to go through the extra trouble of posting all these funny, comical photos means that he's probably more likely to jump through hoops to entertain me. And I like that. Some photos included him lying in bed with a soft toy, reading in his office, and sitting on the toilet. Oh, boy. After reading Lee's bio on his profile, Natasha realized that the photos of his apartment were actually taken, get this, in IKEA. It's great. Now, instead of being impressed by his ingenuity and his cleverness and wit and oh, that's so kitschy, taking photos of himself in IKEA, I think she was instead very disappointed. So, fan of taking photos in IKEA, he wrote on his bio. Ultimately, Natasha thought it was funny and thought that Lee was still a catch. Well, that's good. Okay. Being a single mother. Yeah, right. She's full of shit. She just wants to look good in this story. She dumped him immediately after finding out. Immediately after this story was posted. Being a single mother makes it hard to meet people and date. So she turned to Tinder. Why would you do that? Look, Tinder is not a good place to meet people for anything serious. It's a meat market, okay? Literal M-E-A-T, meat, okay? It's for banging, all right? That's what it's for. You're not going to meet your life's mate on Tinder. Granted, I'm sure there are some, isolated meetings. So I'm sure there's some isolated incidences where people met their lifelong love. But how often is that happening? Come on Tinder, swipe left, swipe right. Everybody's a commodity. Oh, he looks pretty. Oh, he doesn't. Ooh, nice tattoo. Come on. You're basing your choices on purely superficial things. How the hell are you going to find somebody that is going to be a good lifelong match? You could argue, well, you see people in real life. All you have is the same thing as the photo. Not really. You can talk to these people close up. You can get a vibe from them. You can get an idea what kind of person they are. You can ask questions. You can talk. And you can also see below their chin. A lot of these broads, oh, chin up. So, the pictures, so you really have no idea what they look like. Did she swipe the right way? They say that a picture tells 1,000 words. So if you use Tinder, you'll probably appreciate how important photos are to maximize one's chances of getting matches. No, I don't use Tinder. Used something similar for a while, but that was a while back. I have no interest in that shit anymore. Okay, so let's look at her. She's all right. A little chunky. She got a little chunky face. I don't like it. And she's got some kind of weird purple highlights in her hair. I don't know. I mean, even though her hair is long, most women are feminists anyway. Even if they're to a lesser extent feminist, they're still feminist. There's still some feminist ideology in there. And the purple hair, the purple highlights, I don't know. If I was this guy, I would be a little cautious. Although, what the hell's he care? He just wants to hit it and quit it, I think. A single mother who was casually swiping. I don't understand this. What do you want to get out of fucking Tinder? I mean, you got a kid to take care of, right? You got a kid to take care of. What the fuck are you doing on Tinder? You're looking for a new man? You're looking for somebody to pay the bills, or you just looking for some more dick? What is it you're looking for, honey? You're not going to find it on Tinder unless you're looking for, a booty call. That's it. You're not going to find anything meaningful. And you got a kid to take care of. You should be devoting all your time to your kid. So she came across a guy who, based on his photos alone, impressed her a lot. Oh, boy. Just on his photos, impressed her a lot? That's a problem. So she's a child, right? Just by his photos, I was impressed. Yeah, that's a problem. She was amazed by his beautiful home. I see, gold digger. However, it was only later on that she realized that not everything in his photos was what they seemed. She didn't see the signs. Now, this is really scary. She's got to be a real dummy. There's like price tags on everything. Everything's got these big fucking banner-sized price tags hanging off it. And she didn't notice that? Really? Natasha was lost for words when she stumbled across the Tinder profile of a mysterious man by the name of Lee. What, she got a camera there? Who uses cameras anymore? Don't most phones have good cameras on them? What's she doing? Who's that in the background? Who's that big fat woman in the background? Is that her mother? Looks awful young, even with that fat face. Probably another single mother. Lee, 28, operations manager at... It's blurred out. Unfortunately, the signs were there right in front of Natasha. Yeah. look at the picture. There's a fucking price tag on the clock. It's obvious. Jeez, I wouldn't even need the fucking price tags to tell me this guy is sitting in an IKEA or something like that. Are you kidding? All those books, a lot of those books are the same book. Look at the spines. Green, same shape, exact same text. He's got fucking stacks of the same book. Who has more than one copy of the same book? God. Lee wasn't exactly who he said he was. Yeah, he was. He was just posing in a fucking IKEA. Oh, what? So now where he lives is part of who he is? Oh, nonsense. Of course, for a woman, that's the case, right? Because, she conflates two. Meaning that that's all she cares about. If you have a nice home, that means you have moolah. Unforgettable match. I can't even remember some of my other matches, so I think this one will stay with me. Oh, boy, she got a big rack. Got a big fucking rack. Those might be real, too. Yeah, I think we see how she became a single mommy. She was a hot commodity back in her fucking day, but now late 20s. Uh-oh. I mean, at least she's panicking at the right time. Most of these broads wait until their mid to late 30s or even some into their 40s, like that Amy Horton. I'm 45. I don't know how I'm single still. What's going on? I mean, at least she's panicking at the right time, right? Rightly so. Well, he deserves it. Oh, boy. It was how the following events played out that made me realize why Lee was unlike any of the Tinder users she had ever matched with, honey. If you find somebody even markedly interesting on Tinder that you're interested in for reasons beyond physicality, like, it's clever little stunt with the IKEA, and you find that adorable, you need to hold on to him like grim death. Because you're at your age with a fucking kid, you'll be lucky to find anybody. You'll be lucky to get Hal, who pumps gas down at the local station. No, that's right. They don't have people. It's all self-serve now. Well, what other menial job can I think of? the homeless bum that wipes down your windshield with that old newspaper makes it even dirtier? Well, that's the guy you should be settling for, huh? So did you find a dude that actually has a job and is clever enough to do something like this? Keep him! Single mother. On the surface, it might seem surprising that it took Natasha so long to put herself out there and start seeing people. No, it doesn't seem surprising to me. I don't believe her to begin with. She put herself out there. Nobody was interested. Single mother. She's probably fat, too, after having that kid because, whenever women get pregnant, they always take it as an excuse to pack on the pounds. Doesn't seem to occur to them that they're probably eating too much because their baby only gets so big. Yeah, if you're putting on weight, you're eating too much. You're eating enough for the baby, and then too much beyond what even you need. Yeah, I mean, women just, they love any excuse to get lazy. All right, so there's a picture with her and her baby. Oh, God. Oh, my God. So wait, that's a backyard? She's 28 years old? Okay, so she lives with her mother. 28-year-old single mother doesn't have the money to have a backyard. If she didn't have a mommy to live with or something like that, or family to stay with, no way. That's a nice backyard. I see bird baths and shit. That's the kind of stuff that the older people would have in their yard. People who've been established, lived in a place for a long time. Yeah, she don't live alone. She don't live alone, and she doesn't live on her own either, which is very interesting. I thought his apartment was wonderful. I really value the fact he has a nice home, even though I have no home, and I have nothing to offer. Except my worn-out pussy and my big, ever saggy tits. Saggier. And a kid. Again, the kid. Kid. Can't say that enough. Natasha had a child early on in her adulthood. No, really? And without a man by her side, she became a full-time mother. Why didn't she have a man by her side? Why not? This is a red flag, guys. Of course, you should never date a single mother. I don't know what this guy's thinking. He must be desperate. I don't know. He must just be looking to hit it and quit it. If he's not looking to do that, he should be. Tinder time. Oh, God. Natasha was ready to start dating again and find someone that would match her lifestyle in the best way. What lifestyle? Yeah, don't ever date a single mother, even if they're a good-looking broad. Okay, there we go. There's a picture of her in a red nightie. Wow. Okay, she's not a bad-looking broad. I'm looking at the tits. I mean, she's got the hips hidden by the nightie there, so we can't see just how fat her inner thighs are. But I don't see any muffin top. I mean, she's not bad. She's probably worth a lay. But maybe not in the vag. That's still stretched out. She's had a kid. I'm sure the bum would be all right, though, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I can get stretched out, too, but good Lord, she's not good for anything but being a series of holes. I mean, does she not realize that men look at her and just see a series of holes because she's a single mother and she really doesn't have any regard or respect for herself, and she treats herself as nothing more than a series of holes because she's a single mother? No regard for herself at all, but she expects other people to have regard for her. Okay, honey. Wasting no time, she downloaded Tinder, set up an account, began swiping away to find her match. Yeah, good luck, honey. These entitled broads are going to find out the guys are getting a lot more red-pilled and a lot more actually woke than they used to be 5-10 years ago. Single mothers have an ever-increasing difficult time, and I'm glad. And I'm glad it's because of people like me spreading the word about bimbos like this. Waking you guys up. Stay away from these broads. Not many matches. Color me shocked. Natasha didn't realize how tough it would be to find someone who ticked all her boxes. You mean somebody that wanted to be with you, a single mother. Yeah, that's shocking. Yeah, ticked all her boxes, trust me. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me if she has really high standards. Seems like all these broads. This single mother, she has ridiculously high standards, probably. Ay. Oh, boy. Is that the mother? I think I'm older than her mother. What the fuck? That woman, well, she's probably wearing tons of makeup. Hey, Mom, I'm taking a picture for Tinder. Hold on. I got to get the butter tin. I got to get the butter tin of foundation so I'm covering all these cracks and crevices and wrinkles so I can look moderately human and not like the bridge troll I am. I got to take off at least 10 years for this photo. Okay, yeah, that's, they both look like cheap, loose broads. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the mother is probably a single mom, too. On one fateful evening, the single mother swiped onto the profile of Lee, and in an instant, Natasha could not take her eyes off his photos. Yeah, because she saw a lot of what looked like expensive shit, and she saw dollar signs. Along came Lee. Upon first glance, Natasha was transfixed by Lee's profile and was absolutely amazed by his photos. That's because she's stupid. Wow. This is like an IQ test, I think. I think Lee probably posted these photos as an IQ test. I mean, but by the way, the fact that she talked to him and thought that was his apartment before she even got to his profile to find out that, you know, in his profile, he states specifically that he likes taking pictures of himself in IKEA. So she didn't even read his profile before she talked to him. Wow. Of course not. I saw dollar signs, baby. I saw dollar signs, yo. I contacted him immediately without even reading his profile. So you're really not concerned about anything about how much money he has, I see. Okay. So, she's not a bad-looking broad, but, you know, maybe a 6. She's a little above average, but the kid, that... what these women don't understand. A kid cuts your sexual marketplace value solidly in half, okay? So whatever you're starting with, from a man's point of view, not yours, ladies. We don't give a fuck what you think of yourself. It's what we think. And men are pretty good at judging sexual marketplace value. So she starts off as a 6. She has a kid. That's a 3. Now we've knocked off 3. So you're a 3, honey. What can a 3 expect? That's why these women stay single for so long and they never find a man. And then they get old and bitter because they have unrealistic expectations. They don't understand how the sexual marketplace works because feminism has blinded them to reality and the consequences of their loose cooches. So the single mother got the impression that Lee was a cool guy. Yeah, with more to him than the average guy on Tinder. Lee's a player, you dumb bitch. Strange photos. There's no denying that the thing that set Lee apart from all the other potential suitors was his enigmatic photos. Yeah, Lee is just such a genius. Lee's a genius, right? He looks like a genius too, right? Oh, boy. So at first, I didn't understand what they were. They're pictures, dummy. They just seem like really odd pictures. Yeah, he's trying to get your attention, okay? And you're such a dummy. You don't know why you're transfixed. You're just transfixed. And the only reason you're transfixed is because his pictures are different. That's it. Different. And, you know, you in your head are thinking, well, he's different, so that's good. Not necessarily. But Lee understands how women think. You don't understand how men think, though. Not like other guys. Although she found his photos to be strange, it was refreshing to see them after seeing so many monotonous photos from other guys. Yeah. Oh, this pretty boy Nick with his little dog. Oh, no. I want to stay away from him. His pictures are normal. They're not different. And then we got Lee. Whoa. Lee looks weird. Lee looks a little bizarre here, okay? He don't look creepy, just bizarre. Of course, I'm not a broad, though, right? Any guy that women don't like is creepy, right? If you look like Brad Pitt and walk up to some broad in a bar and say, how you doing? Buy you a drink? I would never buy a woman a drink, by the way. Or you say, buy me a drink? She'd be like, ooh. I mean, if you look like Brad Pitt, she'll buy you a fucking drink. But if you walk up and do the same thing and look like Lee, yeah, get away from me, you creep. Lee's a little weird looking. It's not an ugly guy, but different. Yeah, different. You have the ones with the guys in their group of friends, and guess which one is them, she said. She swiped right. Yeah. Natasha, 24, was so impressed with Lee's unique photos. She was impressed with photos from him in a fucking IKEA? I've never seen furniture from Sweden. So exotic. Yeah. I thought they also sell meatballs in IKEA. I remember once I went to a fucking IKEA and they had these big fucking freezers. And I opened the freezers and there were like 50 packs of fucking meatballs. In a furniture store? Really? That's eclectic, all right. Yeah, she was so impressed. She swiped right. Oh, baby. That's a slightly better picture. I'd give her a 7 from that photo, but, that is probably before the kid. That's probably before the kid. In fact, that's before the kid. Wouldn't matter, though. It'd still make her 3.5. And after the kid, and stretched out bone, it's a 6, and then with the kid, cuts that in half to a 3. It's 100% a good way to stand on Tinder, she said. Even if he and I never go on a date, he will definitely get one with a profile like that. Really? I wouldn't be so sure. Oh, my. Interesting. All right, so, yeah, Tinder. What trash? Tinder is trash. It's a match! Natasha was overwhelmed with excitement to find that he was also someone who would swipe right, and meaning they had matched each other. Yeah, of course he swiped. He's looking for pussy, honey. That's all he's looking for. You don't get it. Oh, see? See what I mean? She's gigantic now. Let's go back. Hot? Not. Hot? Not. Hot? Not. Not. Hot. Not. It's like time travel! Yeah, kids will do that. Yeah, good Lord. Boy, is she bloated. Wow, did she put on weight? Did I say 6? I take that away. I meant a 5. 2.5. She's a 2.5 with a kid. Wake up, sweetheart. You need to be more realistic. You're not even good enough for Lee. Oh, I swiped right straight away. At first, she wasn't sure what to say. God. Natasha knew that the best icebreaker would be to praise Lee for the photos he had posted on his profile. Yeah. I messaged him to tell him the pictures had made my day, she said. He messaged me back seemingly very proud of them. Yeah, why would he be proud of pictures he'd taken of himself in his apartment? Oh, because they weren't in his apartment, and he actually had to go through some effort to take them. He probably had the salesperson at IKEA saying, "What the fuck are you doing? Lay on one of our beds, Pinhead. Get out of here." Something's wrong, she says. Everything seemed to be going well for Natasha and Lee. They were having a great first conversation, and the photos really seemed to seal the deal. I told you. Didn't I tell you she talked to him and had conversations with him and got to know him before she even read his profile? Gold digger! Looks like he's rich from all that nice shit in his apartment. I don't even need to read his profile because I'm a superficial cunt. Yeah. Oh, boy. Here we go. Yeah. After reading that one sentence in his bio, everything changed in an instant. Nah, really? You don't say! Look at that! He took the photos at IKEA! Fan of taking photos in IKEA, Lee wrote on his bio, to which Natasha burst out in laughter. Now, how could you not know? Look at the picture on the right. There's fucking price tags everywhere. I can't even read that one. $99? What did you think those were? How could she not know? All these pictures were on his profile. How could she not know that this was pictures from a fucking furniture store of some kind? You'd have to be a bloody moron not to know. Well, I thought it was so funny, she said. We have all at some point walked around IKEA and wanted to act like it was our house. Not really. No. No. I think IKEA furniture's crap and it looks stupid, but that's just me. It all makes sense now. Didn't make sense before. I think IKEA should take him on being a sort of live mannequin because he pulled it off very well. It's only because you didn't read his bio and you're fucking blind. You saw what looked like nice furniture and you assumed money. It blinded you to everything else as it does most women. See this picture on the left again? She's posting pre-fucking baby photos on Twitter. There's another, on Twitch, excuse me. There's another thing you need to look out with and why you need to avoid these fucking dating fucking apps, both on the computer and on your phone. They post pictures that are old. They don't post recent pictures. You think you're getting the thing on the right, but you're really getting that. Oh, my God. Oh, that's a big difference, by the way. He's a funny guy. Yeah, you're not too bright, honey. I think you would think anybody's funny. Okay? If your partner can make you laugh, then this will surely go a long way. Yeah, she liked the fact he went to all that trouble. to make the people looking at his profile laugh. So, he's a hard worker. He'll put in the work to entertain me. I think I'll kick right. I'll give him a chance. Yeah, you should be giving anybody a chance, honey. I love how this broad thinks she's the one in the driver's seat. I'm the one in the driver's seat. That's why you're a single mom. I think it speaks of someone's character that everyone has already labeled him as funny and marriage material because the photos have shown his personality, she said. Marriage material? Well, he's not a goblin. I mean, he's not a goblin. He's not a bridge troll. He's not a horrid neck beard. I mean, the beard is well trimmed. It's not like one of these big fucking beards that's all bushy and shit and extends 6 to 8 inches below their chin, okay? He's not a grotesque looking neck beard. I'll give him that. I don't know about marriage material though, honey. I think you're seeing what you want to see, which is typically the case with these single moms who are desperate to get married because they're overworked and overburdened with a kid they shouldn't have because they couldn't find a man. And why couldn't they find a man? That's the $1 million question, right? The $1 million that she thought that he might have, but he doesn't have. But at least she's still interested, yeah. So she's at least a little realistic, maybe. Her dream date. There was something about Lee's photos that reminded Tasha of one of her favorite movies, 500 Days of Summer. Never heard of it. Sounds like crap. Sounds like crap. There's another. See, she's a blob. She's big. Look at her wrists. Let's think of a new name. So, forearms, wrists, frists. She has frists. There's virtually no delineation between the wrist and the forearm. She's got frists. Probably got cankles, too. I know 500 Days of Summer. I feel like we would have to reenact it if we went on a date. You see all the types of pictures on Tinder. Yeah. Sensitive soul. Oh, boy. Seems like each of Lee's photos told a unique story about his personality. Honey, he's just trying to ingratiate himself to bored, desperate Wayman and set himself apart from guys who are taking pictures with their dog or their buddies, okay? He wants to get your attention, nothing more. He's cruising for poon, you dummy. My favorite one is this. One of them tucked up in bed with a stuffed toy. The photo undoubtedly showed a softer side to Lee. Oh, boy. Toilet humor. Sure, Natasha wasn't impressed with my previous Tinder users because of their lack of originality. See, yeah, he's just trying to stand apart, right? He's a player. And I got to hand it to Lee. Clever. Yeah, look at this. Is it possible she saw this photo and didn't know that he was in a store? Look at all the price tags. Well educated. It was clear that it had been a while since Lee had graduated from college. Despite this, his photos proved that he was a successful individual. They're photos from an IKEA, you dumb bitch. You're looking at a library in a fucking IKEA. I see 5 copies each of the same book. I see one book. There's like 27 copies of that motherfucker. Can you be stupid enough to think that that's his library? Look, the clock. That's a closer picture of the one I saw earlier. The clock is so fucking price tag. Wow, she's so dumb. You really think he's well educated? How do you know that? It dawned on me that all the furniture looked amazing in this place. Oh, God, he's very philosophical. Based on this photo alone, Natasha was convinced that Lee was a thoughtful individual and worth dating. What? I guess when you got Forrest Gump's IQ, anybody with an average IQ seems like a fucking genius. Oh, man. Will they end up together? I thought to myself that even if we don't have a date, he definitely seems like the type of person you'd want as a friend. Oh, boy. Yeah, somebody who can drive me around and watch my kid while I go out with real men. With men I would consider banging. He seems very, very funny, and he's remained as funny in your messages. Again! Another one of these pre-baby photos. The chick on the right's a 7. The one I saw before is a 5, at best. There's a woman on the right without a baby, okay? Yeah, she's bangable. Luckily, he's reasonably attractive as well, which is a plus. Yeah, because that's all you care about. That's really all you care about, sweetheart, which is why you're a single mom, because you have no virtue and you don't see virtue in others. And boy, oh boy. Yeah. Women wonder why they end up with bad guys or no guys. They chose the wrong guy. It's the criteria that they use to choose these men. You got the wrong criteria, honey. You got the wrong methods for choosing men. And then you wonder why you end up alone. Big fucking shocker, sweetheart. Big shocker. All right, let's move on. I thought this was funny. All right, let me see. How do I get out of this full screen? All right, there we go. Okay, let's switch to... There we are. I'm a brilliant genius now. I know to flip around from screen to screen. Back to normal, full-sized me. All right, let's get that story out of here. Let's see what else I got. I got a lot of crazy shit I want to talk about. Okay, bookmarks. Oy vey. All right, wow, that's some ditzy broad, huh? That's a ditzy broad. Seems like one of these Jersey girls, or more likely one of these broads from Philly or fucking Boston or something. One of these dopey gum-chewing broads. Easily entertained. She watch a ping pong game, she'll be entertained. Think it's fascinating. Woo! Look at the ball go back and forth, back and forth. She'd be like one of those fucking cats you see him watching a tennis game. She could do that for hours, I bet. Oh my God, we're at the cartilage in her fucking neck watching all that fucking tennis. Tennis ain't bad though. I don't mind tennis if it's a couple hot broads. I don't want to watch guys play, but those chicks with those short skirts, they oftentimes have good bodies. I mean, I'm not a big guy that likes watching tennis. I'm not a big fan. But, you know, if tennis was on and there were a couple good-looking broads, I'd watch. One moment. Sorry about that. Need to clean the air conditioner. Got some water dripping there. There's a canal, a funnel that carries the water around. It must be blocked. So I'll have to clean that later. Motherfucker. Okay. That should do it. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's easy to clean, but what? There we go. That should solve it. That sound is just annoying. Chinese water torture. In China, they used to have a way of torturing people. They would essentially put them underneath, a large barrel or something of water, and then they would just drip water onto their head, and just a little drop would hit their forehead, like every few seconds. Drove people nuts. It legitimately worked. It would drive them fucking crazy. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Crazy shit. Let me shrink this back down to normal size now that I don't need it bigger. Talk about a delusional chick. Totally delusional. We might get married. No, honey, you ain't going to marry some dude you've been on Tinder, okay? I know you think you will. It's just wishful thinking. This story is cuckoo. Voice of Europe. French teens will be forced to live together for 15 days to promote social mixity. Say what? This is very authoritarian. I'm going to tell you where to live. I'm going to take you from your parents, and I'm going to shove you in a dorm to live with some other people for a little over 2 weeks. Just because, we want to encourage diversity. How is this even... How are they even able to make this legal in France? Macaroni Head Macron probably was a big fan of this. What an idiot. What a moron. How are people accepting this? Oh, well, they've got all those yellow vest protesters. I guess they're not. French tea? Mixity? What the fuck is social mixity? Let's take people who don't want to spend any time together and throw them together. And then maybe we will have less friction in society. Yeah. The only reason people are crashing together and not getting along isn't because they're from cultures that are in no way compatible. No, it's just that they haven't been forced to or had to spend any time together to get to know each other. I'm an NPC. What the fuck you talking about? You can try and mix oil and water together all you fucking want. They're not going to mix. Take all the time you want. It won't make a difference. Listen to this shit. As of 2019, a new government measure called Universal National Service will be introduced, consisting of forcing all 16-year-old French teens to live together. Oh, this isn't a bad idea. You watch the single mother rate skyrocket. Yeah, let's put a bunch of young teens together and without parental supervision, see what happens. For 1 month, including a 15-day period of collective housing. Collective? Me thinks I smell communism. It's a fundamental structural reform for our society, said Gabriel Attal, Minister of Education Secretary, who's in charge of the UNS project. This is like the worst fucking idea I've ever seen. So not only are you going to have a bunch of teenagers boffing and having illegitimate children, a lot of bastards running around now, which is probably what they want. Let's make some kids without a family from the get-go. Yeah, much easier to control them and turn them into good, faithful tax chattel. The UNS's primary goal is to promote social and territorial mixity. The fuck? Word salad mumbo jumbo. Social territorial mixity? And the social and national cohesion's development. This is just mumbo jumbo talk. You're essentially going to it's authoritarian. Yeah, we're going to tell you what to do, where to do it, who to live with, how to live. You've got no choice. Lovely. The UNS will comport 2 steps. One is compulsory and the other is optional. Compulsory. Compulsory. The only thing that should be compulsory, and I don't even agree with this, is taxes, okay? Anything else, fuck you. Look, all right, I have no problem with a society, a culture, a government, a country having laws, telling you what you can't do, okay, putting limits on your behavior. But when you start demanding positive actions from me, telling me what I must do, what I have to do, what I have to say, then I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself. I'm going to go find a gun somewhere and overthrow the government. This is insanity. The first one will consist of a month where all 16-year-olds will live together. The teenagers will be forced to be in collective housing. Like cows and chickens? And for collective housing for 15 days, which means they'll be forced to live together. Yeah. Well, these cultures are in no way compatible, so we're going to force these people to be compatible and get along. It's a great idea. That's going to work. The second phase is, contrary to the preceding one, only optional and can last up to 12 months. 12 months? Fuck you! Concretely, it means that 16-year-old teenagers from Seine Saint-Denis, where the most given name at birth was Muhammad in 2018, will live with... Holy shit! Oh, they're just trying to get people to accept Muslims. They're just trying to get them used to Muslims, accept Muslims, be more tolerant of what is intolerable so that they can eventually replace all the white Frenchies with brown Muslims. I see! So Seine Saint-Denis, where the most given name at birth was Muhammad in 2018, will live with native French teenagers in the same house for 15 days. I don't think so. If I had a 16-year-old and you told me I am compelled to put my kid in a dormitory with a bunch of neckbeard 16-year-old kids that even at 16 they got these big fucking beards, lustrous beards, their headgear and Muslim dudes, you know what I tell you? These people who have sex emergencies and are raping young kids in pools because I haven't had sex in 3 months. It was a sex emergency. I tell you to go fuck yourself and have the cops come to my house and arrest me. You're not getting my fucking kid. Get the fuck out of here. This is insane. When are you French people going to wake up? When are you going to wake up? Find some weapons. Take these people out. Are you kidding me? Defend yourselves. Oh, this government is evil. This French government is evil. They want all you white French people to die. They want you gone so they can replace you with people who need them. So you don't need them enough. The brown people, the black people need them. The Somalis and the Syrians and the Pakistanis. They can't compete with you. They need the government. They need the government. They can't survive and subsist on their own in your country. They're reliant on the government, and that's what the government wants. The government wants reliant people who need them, who will vote for them, okay? All right, that's what they want. You're going to have a caliphate very soon in France. You people need to wake up. They want to kill you. Are you kidding? Well, we want the white people to get used to the Muslims because we're just going to keep bringing them in. So we're going to make it compulsory that you take your 16-year-old girl, boy, whatever, and have them live with a bunch of real patriarchal men for a month. Men who think that if you're not wearing a hijab, you deserve to be raped. Men who run around in rape gangs and justify their rape. Oh, there's a little 12-year-old, but she's not wearing a hijab. It's okay to rape her. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! And the authorities do nothing. And they may or may not allegedly have burned down Notre Dame. You got the authorities saying, we don't know, but we speculate maybe a spark was smoldering. It fell on some beams and it was smoldering. And we speculate that maybe it started burning after everybody left. We don't know, but we're speculating. You don't know. You don't know. Yeah, you don't know. Right. Good Lord. What's more likely, considering how many churches these people have lit on fire in France in the past year alone? It might be a possibility, but we don't want to look at it, right? We don't want the mainstream media to take a look. We don't want to anger the French people any more than they already are. People need to wake up and smell the coffee. They want to start taking your kid. They want to start taking your kids and putting them in fucking concentration camps to educate them. That's what this is all about. That's what this is about. This Orwellian shit. Yes, we're going to couch it in friendly terms. Social mixity. What? Isn't that what society's for? You know, we'll have lots of shared spaces, right? We have privacy in our home. When we go outside, it's all social. We get to choose who we socialize with. No, says the government. You do not have freedom of association. We will tell you who you will associate with. You plebs come, you. That's what this is. They're going to tell you who you're going to associate with. And if you don't like it, too fucking bad. We're going to make you tolerate these people if we have to take away your freedom. Oh, man. Oh, boy. You know, this is crazy. This is crazy. You French people, that things would get this far. You people are idiots. I'm sorry. I know there's some French out there who have had, a voice and have spoken out against this stuff, but not enough. You elected macaroni head, Macron. Fucking globalist shill who pushes this bullshit. It's probably his idea. God. I mean, that things could get this bad. They're going to take your kids. They're going to take your kids and you can do nothing. Because you idiots gave up your guns a long time ago. We can't do nothing. He wants to take my kid. I want to stop them, but I don't have anything. I don't even have knives. They took my knives. I have a butter knife. What are you going to do with a butter knife? Sharpen it on your back steps? Stab the guy in the neck who's wearing full tactical armor that came to take your kid? I don't think so. I don't think so. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You people give up your freedom. I want a little more security. Okay, government, I'll give you more power so I'll feel safer. And then you have neither. You have neither freedom or security. Idiots. God. What idiots. This shit so pisses me off. Oh, boy. Frenchie. And this is what they want in America. This is what they want in America. But fortunately in America, we have a constitution that they have yet to find a way to grind under their, jackbooted thug heels. They'll find a way, though, if we let them. Rights are not things you have. Rights are things that you earn, fight for, and continue to defend. And people are always going to try to fight you to take them away. You're not entitled to anything. You have exactly what you earn and fight for and defend to keep. That's it. All right? You don't know how many rights you have to your something like private property? Leave your fucking front door open, go out to work, then come home. See how much of your private property is left. But I have a right to my private property. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that. Yeah, you got a right to it so long as you do everything you can to defend it, okay? Okay? Same goes with your freedom. Same goes with your freedom. All right, let's move on to some more Orwellian shit in Europe. Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. New Zealand with the tranny in charge. How does nobody know that that's a fucking tranny? Yeah. Ardern's well-being budget brings New Zealand good vibes. Oh, boy. I see a picture here with New Zealand's prime minister and a bunch of neckbeard Muslims. Now, a neckbeard is one of these dudes that's never heard of a fucking trimmer. It doesn't know what it... Nice, well-trimmed, well-kept beard. Looks like they got the fucking thing growing down to their fucking nipples. Look at a neck beard. No. No. Neck beards are bad, okay? They're not good, all right? Get a trimmer, okay? Trim your beard. Don't be a fucking hippie, all right? All right, so the New Zealand budget includes increases on mental health, indigenous welfare, and child poverty. Aren't kids in poverty because their parents are in poverty? Okay. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, Jack. His name in life was probably Jack. Well, okay, that's not a Nordic name. Jacinda. Well, Vlad. Well, what's a good Nordic name? Anyway, for a man, Jacinda. Yeah, that's a dude. Look at how big she is. Have you seen how big this broad is? Have you done the head-to-shoulder comparison? Essentially, if it's a man, you can fit 3 of their heads. So you get the head in the middle, and you can take the width of their head and put it on their right shoulder, and another width of their head and put it on their left, and that's how you know you're dealing with a man. This is a man. This is a man. Jacinda, Prime Minister of New Zealand's a dude. That's what I think. But anyway. Well, that's what I heard, okay? So New Zealand unveiled its inaugural well-being budget Thursday in a move set to cement Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern's reputation for compassionate leadership in the wake of the Christchurch mosque massacre. Yeah. They were hoping something like that would happen so they could grab everybody's guns. This is yet another example of people letting feelings overwhelm reason. Yeah, it might be a bad idea to give the government so much power by relinquishing our weapons, but some crazy dude did shoot up a mosque, so maybe we should give them our guns. Oh, bad idea! Bad idea! I love how everybody thinks their government is just so wonderful. Yeah, they're so benevolent. They'll never stoop to such a low level as to become outright authoritarian and take all our freedoms. No. Well, what's stopping them? What's stopping them? Yeah, your leaders are so pure of heart, right, that they would never take advantage of the fact that there's nothing stopping them. I want power. I'm a politician. I became a politician because I'm addicted to power. Well, nobody has guns, and everybody's giving the government so much power that I only need to take one more step to have total authority over everybody, and I love power, and nobody can stop me. Should I take that step? Hello? Okay, so Ardern, widely praised for her respectful handling of the March shooting in which 51 Muslims... How many fucking Christians have been killed in Sri Lanka? Thousands, just this year, by Muslims. No news coverage. 51 Muslims get killed. Oh, the world's going to end. So she described the budget as a world-first attempt to change the way economic progress is measured. Postmodernism. Yeah, they did postmodernism. We got to take everything that's traditional and change it and redefine it, and that which is acceptable also has to be changed and redefined. Yeah, gotta go. We got to get rid of the ways that we judge economic progress. I thought that economic progress was judged by, a good economy. No! You can be a poor bum and still rich economically. How the fuck does that work? I'm sure they'll find a way to redefine things so that it works just fine. We have so often heard New Zealanders calling for early intervention and investment in challenging issues to save both money and lives in the long run. What does that mean? Save money and lives? Well, if you want to extend your efforts to quote-unquote save people, it's going to cost more money. It's not going to save money. That is exactly what this budget delivers. That's oxymoronic. That's contradictory. What do you mean? You're going to make more efforts to do more, to save more lives, give more welfare, help more people, give more welfare? Well, that just means you're going to spend more money. Well, I'm going to say, before I say we're going to spend more money, that we're actually going to spend less. Yeah, people are such NPCs. All you really have to do is tell them. We're going to spend less money, and we're going to save more lives and help more people. Okay. It never occurs to them that if you're going to do more, you're going to spend more money. You're not going to save money. It is our government's second national budget, but the New Zealand leader said it was the first to be centered on the concept of collective well-being, which isn't a thing. There's no such thing as collective well-being. The well-being of an individual is best served by following their own chosen path in life and serving their own well-being, which is individual, not collective. Putting people before economic indicators. Sounds suspiciously like what AOC said. Well, I think people need to be more concerned with being morally correct than factually correct. Of course, she doesn't seem to realize that to be morally correct, you must first be factually correct. Well, whatever. It sounds good. While dismissed as marketing spin by critics, Arden views it as a way to deliver the reformist agenda she campaigned on in 2017. They elected this broad because she's a broad. Okay? Some dude now abroad. Yeah. The budget includes, it's very interesting to me. You got all these people that are either trannies or with trannies. They're deviants of some kind being put in office. You got Obama with his tranny wife, Michael. You got this clear tranny here. But you got all these deviants in office. All these deviants. Guess they're easier to control. Got a lot of skeletons in their closet, So the budget includes increases on mental health, indigenous welfare, whatever that means, and child poverty. Indigenous welfare. You mean people who were born and are, of New Zealand, whose ancestors lived there? Child poverty. Yeah, because who can argue with or have a problem with helping impoverished children? I do, but hey, whatever. On the economic front, the budget predicts a surplus of 3.5 New Zealand dollars in 2018 to 2019, rising to 6.1 billion by 2022 to 2023. Yeah, she thinks she's still going to be in office then? I don't know, honey. We're getting a lot of fucking conservative pushback from the right. So it optimistically forecasts, wishful thinking, economic growth will average 2.7% over the same period. That's crap. I guess that's better than what Obama got. He didn't even break 2%. Yeah, that's an optimistic forecast. That's just wishful thinking. That's what you're hoping for. With inflation hovering around 2%. I don't believe that. And unemployment slightly over 4%. For such a small population, that's not good. That's not good. The Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan first floated the idea of prioritizing happiness over growth. How happy are you going to be when you're hungry? How happy are you going to be when you don't have enough resources? Our population's growing and we're importing a lot of low IQ morons and increasing the load and strain on our economy and on our treasury, right? And on our welfare system. How are you going to prioritize happiness over growth? If you're not going to prioritize growth, you're not going to have the resources to maintain people's happiness by having the resources that they need to be happy, like food and housing, you moron. Why don't you stick to virtue signaling, you pinhead tranny, you? Why don't you stick to that? You're good at virtue signaling. Yeah. Happiness over growth in the early 1970s. This is just a ploy to get more votes, right? I'm going to give a lot of money away. Yeah, they did that in Venezuela, too. Chavez did that. I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to steal the rich's shit, and I'm going to give it to you middle class and poor people. Yeah, he tanked the country. He tanked it. It took about a decade, but he tanked it, right? That's what they're trying to do here. Destroy everything. Let's destroy everything so everybody's reliant on us. And then we'll have all the power. This broad ain't going to go hungry. Ay. Many other nations have adopted similar concepts, but the New Zealand attempt is being touted as the first time it has been at the core of the government's spending decisions. Yeah. Oh, that's real bright. Yeah. You know what? Instead of prioritizing putting more money in my wallet, see, let's break this down, okay? Let's reduce this to an individual level. This would be like an individual saying, okay, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to prioritize my happiness over saving. I'm going to prioritize my life's happiness over earning resources, over earning income. So I'm going to quit my job and spend all my money. Or I'm going to work part-time, but I'm going to increase my spending by double. That'll make me happier. Yeah, it'll also make you broke real quick. What is this broad thinking? What do you mean you're going to prioritize happiness over growth? What does that mean? I don't know what that means? That's like what Ocasio-Cortez said. It's retarded. You know what that means? Well, you have to have growth for happiness. You have to have facts before you can have morality, you idiot. They believe, this is crazy. Many other nations have adopted similar concepts, but the New Zealand attempt, it's great. Opposition finance spokeswoman, really a woman opposing this? Wow. Amy Adams described the well-being move as a gimmick, calling the budget all spin and no substance. Yeah, it's worse than that, though. Gonna bankrupt your country even more than it already is. Oh, my God. Isn't New Zealand a country with a very small population? So let me get this straight. You're importing all these low IQ morons, right? You're increasing your population. You're increasing the number of your population that needs welfare, that needs benefits, that produces nothing, that contributes nothing. So you're increasing the burden and drain on your fucking government, while at the same time, you're going to spend even more money and prioritize growth less. That's a brilliant move. Oh, boy. Yeah. No, it ain't. It's really stupid. Oh, boy. Stupid. All right, let's move on to yet more insanity. More insanity this time in the States. Yeah. Which almost seems sane by comparison. The United States almost seems sane by comparison to, that shit in New Zealand. Jesus Christ. Well-being. There's no such thing as collective well-being. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. What do you think this is, Star Trek? What are you, Dr. Spock? She looks like Spock, by the way. Who is a man with very sharp facial features and would take 3 heads on his shoulders. Even though he was a little spindly, like her. Such bullshit. God. Collective. There's no such thing. There's no collective us to begin with. Collective doesn't exist in terms of well-being. There's no organism walking around that's comprised of the entire population of fucking New Zealand, okay? Everybody has their own interests. Everybody has their own self-interest. Each individual has different things that give their lives meaning and that they enjoy doing. There is no such thing as this collective, overwhelming well-being that will serve everyone's well-being. No. Idiots. All right, this next story's not loading. Loaded before, but it's not loading now. All right, let's see if I can get this other one to load. Collective well-being, yes. We are going to prioritize something that does not exist, except as an abstract concept. Good idea. Are you kidding me? Collective well-being, yeah, because you all have a collective stomach, right? You all eat the same thing and you all are fed. So when I eat, you're eating too, right? No. So there's no collective us? Right. So when she says collective well-being, what is she saying? Bullshit, essentially. Oh, okay. Just some good sounding socialist bullshit. Yeah, all right, I see. To grab ever more power. All right. Next. STDs skyrocketing and becoming untreatable. More good news. More good news. Oh, boy. I was having a debate with some idiot on Facebook earlier until I realized you can't argue with stupid people, so I just, cut it off. About vaccines. How dumb are some people? Yeah, trying to get these people to understand that the whole anti-vaccine movement was started by a lie study posted in The Lancet more than 20 years ago. I think a UK publication. The entire study was fraudulent, made up, totally contrived. I think the guy that made it was sued and maybe arrested. I mean... It's all based on that. It's all based on a lie. People don't know this. They're so dumb. I believe the vaccines cause autism. Yeah, you're an idiot. That's why you believe that. There's no scientific evidence at all. It's like that 97%, not the 7% of climate scientists agree that global warming is happening and it's man-made, which it's not. It's a lie. Some fucking cartoonist made that up. Cartoonist, not a scientist. He reviewed something like 13,000 pages of text with like a dozen of his hippy-dippy dumb moron friends. And they all fucking interpreted it to mean, well, I think 97% have a consensus. No. You're not a scientist. You misinterpreted the data, you moron. It's a lie. But it's a lie people believe now, right? Yeah. STDs. Of course, Nobody takes sex seriously anymore. It has no meaning. It's just something that's like a throwaway, like a fucking aluminum can. Sexually transmitted diseases continue to rise steeply in the U.S., and 2017, 2018 marked the fourth year in a row that this has been the case. In fact, the number of STDs in the U.S. in 2017 surpassed the previous record set in 2016 by more than more than 200,000 cases. And that's just the cases that are reported. Such that close to 2.3 million cases of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis were diagnosed. Holy shit. The latest data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention showed Dr. Jonathan Mermin, interesting name, director of the CDC's National Center for HIV/AIDS, Hepatitis, STD, and TB prevention, noted that we are sliding backwards as cases of STDs in the U.S. were in decline until the 1970s. Well, yeah, because, people got married before they had sex, and there was no rabid man-hating feminism. I mean, feminism at its heart hates men, but it wasn't as extreme as it got until the 1970s, and sexual so-called liberation, which is really a prison. You dopes just don't realize it. At which point the trend reversed. It is evident, of course, that's part of the depopulation agenda of the global elites, okay? Less people, let's spread the disease, baby! Kill off as many people as we possibly can so we can get a nice, controllable population of about 500 million people that we can rule over forever. The latest data shows that the trend was reversing, and it is evident the systems that identify, treat, and ultimately prevent STDs are strained to near breaking point. It's especially curious that STD rates are rising as separate research suggests Americans are having less sex overall. Yeah, but the sex they are having, it ain't in a committed relationship, you idiot. It doesn't really matter. You mean less of the 80% majority. But the top 20%, they're banging a lot of broads and spreading a lot of disease. Way more than before. Thanks to Tinder and sexual liberation of the waymen, which isn't liberation. Not really. So if this trend continues, then what's behind the rising rates of STD? Likely, according to Gail Bolan, a rise is riskier sex practices, not using condoms, along with high-risk sex associated with opioid use and addiction. Not to mention, top 20% of dudes banging hundreds of broads. Others suggest lack of funding for federal STD prevention programs. Well, the global elites want this shit to spread. You're not going to see a lot of federal funding for that. And STD clinics is partly to blame, as people may be less likely to seek STD screening and treatment in a private setting. Whatever the case may be, what's clear is that multiple populations may be threatened. That's the whole purpose. That's the point. By these rising infection rates, especially as more cases turn out to be untreatable due to drug resistance. I guarantee you that the global elites are not out there banging their asses off, okay? And they're probably getting the choice creme de la creme of vaccines, okay? Gonorrhea, syphilis, and chlamydia increased sharply. Cases have increased 67% during the study period. That's a lot. In women, gonorrhea may cause vaginal bleeding, or discharge, or painful urination. Lovely. Think about that the next time you consider going down on some broad, gentlemen. Get yourself some plastic wrap first. Syphilis has increased 76%. Oh my God. Syphilis will turn your brain into Swiss fucking cheese if you don't get very quickly some kind of treatment. Heavy-duty antibiotics. Drug-resistant STDs are rising. For now, chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis can be treated with antibiotics, penicillin, provided a person realizes they're infected and seeks treatment. However, this may not be the case for long, as drug-resistant infections are becoming more common. And for some reason, antibiotics have not advanced hardly at all in the past 30 years. Why? Why is that? Why is that? In fact, since the sexual revolution, they've hardly advanced at all. I wonder why. It's a mystery. So the CDC recommends a dual therapy approach, blah, blah, blah. Gonorrhea may be developing resistance to azithromycin-resistant gonorrhea increased from 1% to 4% between 2013 and 2017. Super gonorrhea already exists worldwide. Oh my God. Oh my, yet another good reason not to be banging broads. You might die horribly, painfully, have your dick fall off before you drop dead or you become a eunuch effectively. I'll pass. Thank you. I'll fucking pass. Yeah, a lot of reasons there to not bang broads. Yeah, or to be in a long-term committed relationship, but with the horrendous state of women these days in the West, that's exceedingly unlikely. Yeah, they want to bang around, ride as many cocks as possible. Yeah, but that's not the cause of the problem. Oh no. Yeah. What else we got here? This is interesting. Bernie's a communist. Well, that's something we already know. I don't want to talk about that. It's a long article anyway. How and why to appreciate masculine qualities. This is a good story, but too long. Weak men are likely to become socialist. Yeah, we know that. We know that. Why do you think they're all soy boy-looking motherfuckers? They're trying to overcompensate for their lack of masculinity with big, thick neck beards. Okay, let's see here. All right, skyrocketing STDs. Oh, boy. Scary world we're living in right now. When it first started with the AIDS epidemic, I remember that. And people just thought that was the gay man's disease. It's really not anymore. I mean, it's spread pretty well throughout the hated cisgender scum population. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Antibiotics are no longer a sure fix, even for something like gonorrhea. I'm not going to comment on as to whether or not I've had any of this stuff before. It's not relevant. But this stuff used to be a hell of a lot easier to treat, you know. One big giant horse pill, cured. Nowadays, you got to come in for a drip for a month every day. Super strong antibiotics for 30 days on a drip. Oh, my God. You know, things have definitely gotten worse, not better. I don't see anything else here very interesting to talk about. Taylor Swift. Oh, I hate her. Weirdo. Oh, hairstyles. I wanted to talk about that a little more. I'll end on that note, okay? This bullshit about hairstyles. I talked about this in my last show. Essentially how California is now trying to legislate hair and that you can't in any way, shape, or form tell your own employees how to wear their hair. This is so stupid to me for a number of reasons. They were trying to make the case in the article I read that hairstyles are natural, that they're somehow connected to race. And that, you know, if the hairstyle that we say is connected to race, and we can't explain how that's the case, but we say that's the case. So any hairstyles that are connected to race, in nothing more than a stereotypical manner, by the way, you can't tell them they can't wear it. So cornrows, braids, afros, none of these things are off limits. And if you try to tell your employee, I don't like how that looks, you're going to have to get that cut or comb it or just do something that's a little more professional looking. Well, you're not allowed to have a professional standard, okay? You're not allowed to have any kind of traditional, foundational, Western traditional standard for professional appearance. Yet more of this postmodernistic crap, right? No such thing as professional. It depends on your race. Ooh, really? Not culture? Well, you know, this is America. It's no culture here. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, so they're trying to say that essentially all those kind of hairstyles, they're racial. They're racial hairstyles. You know, because, you know, when the hair comes out, it's already in cornrows. That's natural, right? It naturally arranges itself into a cornrow pattern. And it braids itself, too. And afros just pop out. Below hair that's big, gigantic, voluminous fucking gigantic helmet. Like in that movie, was it Spaceballs? You had the fucking, what was it? Darth Vader. Little Rick Moranis with this gigantic fucking helm. Little tiny pinhead inside. And that's what those look like, those big afros. Well, that's natural, don't you know? You don't have to do anything manually to create these hairdos. They're not hairdos. They're just naturally They're just racial, naturally occurring hair. Yeah, but that's not true. I mean, you actually have to do all this work to manually braid all that shit. And to tease it into a big giant afro or cornrows or whatever. That takes a lot of work. That's not natural. But apparently, somehow it is, and you have to respect that. Yeah, I don't think so. I advise people out there, if you're going to start a business anywhere, don't do it in California. Don't do it in New York. Do it somewhere where the people are halfway sane, okay? Maybe Georgia. Maybe Georgia. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, there we go. Disney CEO. This fucking guy. What a fucking... Oh, I can't open it. That's great. Can't open the fucking story. Lovely. Oh, it's asking me to type a fucking captcha code. Oh, I love when that happens, right? Why do we have to type a fucking captcha code? So stupid. Error. You cannot open this. The country you are in. We don't like it. Yeah, Disney CEO says he's no longer going to do business in Georgia. Really? Because they are saying you can't abort and kill a baby after 6 weeks. Or after you detect a heartbeat. Well, yeah. I'd love to see him follow through on that. That's great. Yeah, we're going to spend 20% more on movie production. How many movies or fucking TV shows is Disney making in Georgia anyway? I bet a big fat whopping zero, okay? Ridiculous. What virtue signaling nonsense? I bet if push comes to shove, they'll be in Georgia, okay? If they get a big enough discount, they'll go to Georgia. These people have no morals, all right? No morals. Their morals are very convenient, let's just say that. Isn't Disney based in California? Oh, God. All this dystopian nonsense. Hairdos are racial. All right, I think I'm done. Oh, maybe not. What is this? South LA prostitute known as Pretty Ho gets 15 years for pimping underage girls. Meh. Not all that interesting to me. Looked like a funny story, but, well, okay. Looks funny. All right. 15 years for pimping underage girls? A chick went to jail for 15 years? That is abnormal. Usually these women, they get a pussy pass. They get let off the hook. All right. So a South Los Angeles pimp, prostitute known as Pretty Ho, H-O-E, on social media, was sentenced to 15 years behind bars for using the internet to try to enlist underage girls to work for her on the streets. Sounds consensual to me, right? Oh, you leftist scum and you retarded fucking judges letting all these women off the hook when they rape young boys because the boy consented. He's 13, but he got a hard-on, so that's consent. What about the same argument for the girl? She was wet. Your Honor, she was wet. She consented. Be gone with you. 50 years in prison. Woman does the same thing. Community service. So, Melanie Williams was sentenced to the mandatory minimum of 180 months in prison for her plea to a single count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. It's shocking to me that a woman would get any time in prison for any kind of sex crime at all. U.S. District Judge George Wu. Wu. Okay, he's of Asian descent. Bit of a higher IQ, maybe. Also sentenced her to 10 years of supervised release following the prison term, essentially a fancy word for probation, and ordered her to pay restitution of $15,000 to the victims. Yeah, I'm sure she'll do that. Federal prosecutors wrote in court papers that the 23-year-old Williams is a prolific pimp who recruits her victims via her celebrity status on social media. You're a celebrity if you're a whore? Okay. And then, well, yeah, in the degenerate society we live in now, unfortunately. And then forces her victims to engage in commercial sex acts while the defendant retains the profits. Her attorney wrote that Williams is intellectually disabled and was herself a victim of human trafficking. Intellectually disabled? What does that mean? She's dumb? That's the argument of the defense. Your Honor, she's stupid. She didn't know any better. She has an IQ of 85. Wu is like, that's the average for blacks in America. That doesn't make her disabled or unable to know the consequences of her actions, to understand that they're immoral. Okay, her IQ is 65, Your Honor. She's intellectually disabled. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. The broad don't look retarded. I don't think she's retarded. I didn't hear the words mental retardation. She's a victim. Trying to turn the woman into the victim. Men are never victims. Oh, no. When a man does something wrong, he can't possibly have done it because he was a victim. But a woman, they're perpetual victims. Give me the pussy pass. Give me the pussy pass. No, says the clearly high IQ Wu. I'm not falling for your bullshit. Williams declined to make a statement to the court, but wrote to the judge that she acknowledges her crimes, and I understand that now I have to pay the consequences. She wanted to get a lighter sentence. She thanked the government for removing me from that awful lifestyle. She's hoping that these words will come up when she gets sent up for probation. I mean, what is that, when they... Yeah, she's hoping she'll get early release. Yeah, she's hoping she'll get some early release, and when she goes in front of that board, they'll read all her court transcripts. Maybe they'll see that she showed remorse and let her out early. Yeah, maybe. She's hoping anyway. And she wrote that she was profoundly sorry for the pain and trauma suffered by the victims in the case. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that very much. It's just contrived. It's just contrived remorse, so she would get a lighter sentence. That's all it is. It's all it is. Williams abused a woman she had recruited through social media to work as a prostitute. In one incident detailed in court documents, Williams first ordered the victim to strip, then threw bleach on her and beat the woman with her hands and a broomstick. Wow. I'm thinking 15 years ain't enough. I'm thinking she maybe got a partial pussy pass. Not a bad-looking broad. The defendant also forced the victim to get the word Melanie tattooed on her face. Really? Confiscated her belongings and identity documents, and continually threatened to kill the victim if she tried to leave. It's very interesting how this woman is trying to claim that she's a victim while she victimizes other people. I think the irony is lost on her. Williams further posted social media videos of her beating and using firearms to threaten the young woman. Well, okay, now I'm thinking she might be intellectually disabled. She's actually posting herself committing these crimes online. Oh, my God. In her plea agreement, Williams admitted using the internet to recruit 2 underage girls to engage in commercial sex acts. Williams kept the proceeds from the minors' work on the streets. Sounds like an opportunist, for sure. Williams, who has a large social media presence on Snapchat and Instagram, was sentenced 2 years ago to 3 months in jail for prostitution, according to the affidavit. She also refers to herself on social media as the most hated hoe in L.A. While her Instagram account has been removed, she maintains a presence on Twitter, even behind bars. Is it any wonder that young women these days are popping out babies like a fucking conveyor belt? Unbelievable. This is their role model. Women like this and Taylor Swift. Oh, God. No wonder you got so many kids having babies out of wedlock. Yeah, this is somebody that you should have as a role model. Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Sex trafficking, child abuser is essentially a role model for young women. Lovely. Just lovely. Explains a lot, though, doesn't it? Yeah. Mildly humorous how she tried to get off. This is not that funny. I thought it would be funnier. The intellectually disabled line. That was mildly amusing. Other than that, this is just sad. This is just sad. Yeah. We can't have role models like June Cleaver. No, we need to have the most hated hoe in L.A. as Wayman's role model. Yeah. Yeah, women's lib. It's been such a great thing for you, Wayman, hasn't it? Feminism and role models like this. Wow. Well, no wonder women are ruined. No wonder they're ruined. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. This is why the West is in such a horrible state. Most hated hoe is Wayman's role model and feminism. I think I'm going to end the show on that note. If you like my content, please consider subscribing to this channel or supporting me. I have a subscribe star that you can make, I believe one-time donations, monthly donations. I have a whole bunch of different tiers you can sign up for and help support my work. You can also make a one-time donation on TipeeeStream. And I also have a Patreon that's monthly. You'll find all these links at therealistphilosopher.com/donate. That is therealistphilosopher.com/donate. Keep in mind, I am generating a prodigious amount of red fucking pills for young men out there. I've helped countless men in my quest to wake men and women up if they're willing to listen. Wake them up to the true nature of reality and how the real world actually works and the evils of cultural Marxism. Cultural Marxism, which is represented in so many different forms. There's so many different Hydra heads, but they're all part of the same body. Feminism is nothing more than cultural Marxism. Okay? That's what it is. I'm trying to wake people up to the reality of the world so that they can have better, happier, more productive lives. And if you want that to be the world you live in, then, you have to contribute to and help those people who are trying to do that. If you're someone who's trying to do that in the same way I am, great. If you're not, but you're ingesting this content and you want to help someone who is helping to spread prodigious red pills, you should probably donate to my channel. Again, you'll find numerous donation options at therealistphilosopher.com/donate, as well as numerous links to all the different platforms I am on, and my social media as well. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gab, you name it. You'll find those links in the description as well, but the easiest way is just to go to my website, therealistphilosopher.com, and you've got everything right there. Easy access. The same way women are these days. At least to the top 20% of dudes. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed. And if you're watching on DLive, please keep in mind that although you post comments, I can't see them during the show. That applies to every other platform where this is being shown on because I use a restreaming service. While the show is going, I can't have lots of interactive windows open or it can affect the quality of the stream, and then I'll start dropping frames. But please keep in mind, if you make a donation on DLive, I will respond in the next show. If you make a donation along with a question or a comment or a subject you want me to address, I will do so in the next episode. Also, if you're not on DLive, consider following me there. You'll find the link in the description. It's a streaming platform, video platform, very much like YouTube, except it's based on blockchain technology, which essentially means no censorship. Or at least very little censorship, okay? You can't post anything you want there, but, there's very little oversight. Nothing like YouTube with all their censorship and hate speech, which is really just speech we hate. It's not about you spewing hate. It's about things we hate, meaning the left, that we don't want to hear, meaning logic and reason and evidence, right? So no hate speech rules, none of that. So if you're not on DLive, go sign up there. You can watch the show there as well. I think it's streamed maybe a little better quality-wise there. So go check that out. And yeah, I guess that's it. And that's it for this special episode of one of my very rare weekend sessions of my show. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on Monday, 10 to 11 a.m. New York City time, which is when you can catch the live broadcast. And also, it's recorded and saved on all the platforms that I stream to as a video you can watch pretty much any time. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.